The Wiluna township and mine site is more than 100 years old. There's been a number of phases of gold production here, and there's been a whole range of owners in the last 30 years. But it's got a history that goes as long as Kalgoorlie, and it's the northern end of the largest gold mining system in Australia.
It's had a bit of a checkered past, although the one thing that's not in anybody's doubt is that there's an enormous amount of gold here. The endowment of gold, as in what's been produced and what we've got as resources, is over 11 million ounces. So it's one of the biggest gold systems in the world.
Wiluna is a gold producer, producing about 80,000 ounces of gold. Wiluna has got a plan to try and use a very extensive resource geological endowment and large geological system, 6.3 million ounces of resources, with the aim of trying to take it from about 80,000 ounces of production today to well over 200,000 ounces in a staged fashion over the next 3 years.
Effectively, the mine has been running on a series of about 4 to 5 open pits and a single underground mine at the Golden Age underground, all non-refractory, so it's all relatively free milling ore. We're running at a rate of about 1.8 million tonnes per annum of ore through the plant.
As you can see behind me, we've got a new rod mill installed. It was refurbished over the last sort of 6 to 8 months. We're trying to target about a 20% extra throughput with this rod mill. And so far we're up to 10%, but we're still working on it.
Moving forward, we have a very, very good plan for the current operation and a very, very good plan for the future operation. Later today, we're going to go out and have a look at our Williamson operation. It's a rather large cutback, and come into the next quarter, that's going to become our base load generator of ore, and we'll sweeten it up with the particularly high grade that we're generating from the underground. We're doing a very tight infill program in the underground now. We've got some great intersections, and a lot of that is a newly discovered footwall lode in the Golden Age ore body.
There are a number of exciting exploration targets across the Wiluna belt. We control 1,600 square kilometres. It's really unusual for a junior company of our size to control such a large tenement package, and it's a great playground to go on exploring. Exciting exploration targets for us are around the Williamson mine area. There's potential for some very large discoveries concealed under the lake cover. But really the focus for the company is on reserve definition of the Wiluna sulphide ore bodies. We have 7.5 kilometres of strike on 2 key structures, and within that our geologists have modelled the location of some potential new chutes at shallow levels and close to existing infrastructure. So we'll be drilling those in the next few months.
This is the east pit. We're in the process of dewatering this at 150 litres per second. By June 2020 we have this dewatered. We'll have access to 2 existing decline portals, one here to the south, one to the north. Then the one to the north will allow us to access the really prized Calvert lode. It's been partially developed by our predecessors and they spent a lot of money there. Fortunately we can go straight into it. Just to the north we've got the Happy Jack South portal, the Creek Shear portal, and then there's several kilometres to the north we've got the Bulletin. We're going to join all those together, significant ounces per vertical metre in the sulphide ore bodies. This is a very long-term significant operation.
The amount of free milling ore that's left at Wiluna is finite, whereas the resources that are available that have historically been treated here, and the majority has been the refractory sulphide ore. So the intentions for us is to revamp the underground mining predominantly of sulphide ore and build a concentrate production plant. There has been concentrate produced at site previously, but that flotation plant was quite small. Our plan is to replace that plant with a newer, larger, modern plant where we can maximise our recoveries and thereby maximise value.
It is basically an 18-month process to get the mine geared up to a scale that can support a new concentrator. And what's made that possible is that we don't have to process that concentrate on site. The concentrated markets are very favourable. We can sell that out there in the world market and get very favourable terms, and it lets us get going with cash flow from those deposits that are currently not being operated with limited capital.
We have a mine, an operation, I mean it's 30 years old. It needs maintenance, but we're investing in the future. You only have to look at our brand new tailing storage facility. Now that thing has a capacity of 6 to 7 years, so we're investing serious capital in the long term. The TSF is a key part of our investment.
The turnaround story is going extremely well. Particularly what's pleasing is the operating cash flow turnaround, which has gone from negative in the May quarter to where we are today, which is positive and contributing to capital expenditure and development.
We've got the technology to do it. I think we're putting the funding together to do it. We think we've got the team to do it, but most importantly, we've got the resources and eventually the reserves to do it, because there's so much gold here.
This is a well-run operation. It's got a good management team, and this is a great place to operate.
What makes me excited about Wiluna is that we're sitting on an extremely large geological system with potential in a safe jurisdiction in the middle of Western Australia that can be a 200,000 ounce plus producer with the right application of time and capital and discipline in the way we approach it.